going, Carlos?
It's going good. I'm sweating like a maniac.
Yeah, I saw you playing some pretty dope tunes there. That was fun.
Okay, which one? What'd you hear?
So I got in at Green Day,
Yes.
and Queen, and then the rest is history. So it was good.
So that Queen song, I've never played that before.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure I said it in the stream. Like, I'm pretty sure I've heard it before. Something tells me I remember hearing like a student play it in the other room or hearing it at the show because I taught at School of Rock.
Okay,
And
so yeah, you definitely heard that.
Yeah, ton of stuff. All right, so I know you've got some metronomic chaos for me, right?
Yes.
So a quick thing I want to tell you before we start. My
Yes.
audio in here is set up so that either I can hear the metronome or I can hear you. So as soon as we're going to start with the metronome, I'll switch my audio over to the metronome. Obviously, you know that there's like a constant lag problem, which we have fixed.
Really?
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding.
Yeah. Oh my God, really?
Yeah. This has been a nightmare for all drum teachers
Yeah.
around the world teaching remotely, and a lot of us still aren't really, in tune with that issue. And depending on the student, sometimes so the way the internet works is it buffers, right? So sometimes it's going to slow down and speed up a little bit. So it creates some challenges, but for the most part, it's pretty stable, regardless. But I'm happy you got that set up on your end, so that's great.
And what I would say is there's no fixing it. So the thing you have to get used to when a student presses play on their metronome, which sometimes is digital, sometimes it's a speaker, sometimes it's coming out of an electronic kit or whatever. Like, what you have to do is just get good at hearing it with the lag, right? So here's the click on their end. Here's them coming in, and it's like, oh, they're perfect eighths, right? Sometimes it's a perfect eighth note, in which case, oh, you're in heaven.
Yeah.
And then if they're off the metronome, you're going to know because they're off of the off eighth note.
The subdivision, yeah.
Which I fucking love.
They're just not playing the same time, right?
Yes.
Like the same tempo at that point.
The space needs to be the same, either way.
It's funny because the exercise today actually fixes that somehow.
Oh.
If you're crazy enough to believe it.
Let's do it.
So what I prepared for you, Carlos, is an exercise that was taught to me by the great Mark Kelso, Canadian drummer and educator. I studied with him in Humber, and he was kind enough to show all his masterclass. Well, show, I think the word is torture, basically.
Yeah.
All of us with this exercise.
Yeah.
So it's about... the exercise is super simple. You just use the metronome, but on everything but one. So you're not at the same time, but so you're going to choose one of the subdivisions and you're going to be playing it. And the benefit to this, 'cause I know we've got quite a bit of time here, so we'll be working on this. But the idea is that you're strengthening your sense of where your one is. And it's also a way to play very musically with the click. So you get used to the click being part of the music and part of the sway, and not feeling like the click is holding you back or whatever. Right. So it's really about figuring out your subdivisions.
Perfect.
And I've seen, like, I'm on a lot of drum forums and stuff like that, and I see a lot of people asking, like, what do you guys use instead of metronome? Because I think the metronome really sucks, blah, 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 blah. And the reality is it kind of does until you get good at it, so, stick with the metronome.
Right.
And this is one of the ways. So we're going to start very easy, and then we're going to go into oblivion with this. Are you set up in a way where you can see if I put sheet music on the screen?
Yeah, I just have to turn my head a little bit. Just share your screen.
Cool. Well, for now, I don't think we'll need it.
Sure.
Just gonna get. So I just want people to know I'm using a YouTube metronome. So I'm not cheating in any way with the metronome that's sending me a different signal than you guys.
Right. If you just tell me whatever metronome tempo you need, I'll put it. It'll come through my speaker, and all lag issues will be gone.
Okay. Well, actually, so I was thinking of doing it just for a little bit, just to show you what the idea is, and then I'll walk you through it, because I'm not sure if you're familiar with this exercise. So I'll do it on my end. Okay, that's a good metronome. So I'm putting 60 BPM. I'll send you here in the chat the link to it. Just a YouTube metronome, basically, at 60 BPM. And the cool thing about YouTube as well is you can speed up and slow down stuff if you like. But there's also a million metronomes on there, so really there's no issues there. So I need to share my audio. So share sound. There we go. And I hope you're not. Are you seeing the metronome, or are you seeing?
Yeah, switch over and just share your audio.
Yes. So just share audio. Nope. Basic audio. There we go. So you can hear the metronome?
Yes.
Excellent. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to start playing just a regular groove, you know, just on top of it, and then we'll do the switch as we go. So just to warm up, kind of get, you know, kind of feel this groove. Just
Yeah.
all right.
Money beat at
metronome.
60.
Yeah, but it's still hard to play at 60 somehow. But with this exercise, it becomes, all the subdivisions open up, and then it becomes not so slow.
Okay.
So now I'm going to do it where I'm playing the upbeat, right? 1, 2. 1, 2,
Perfect.
3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yep.
1, 2, 3, 4. Easy, easy, easy. That's great. So now the last 16th note. This is where it gets a little bit funky. You know?
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1.
Now sorry, can I ask you a question quick?
Yes.
So the way I like quantify that in my head is that the metronome is the So I hear the metronome as the
Yes.
and then I come down on the 1 right after it.
Yeah.
Okay, should I try that? Can I give that one a go quick just in case?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
Okay, so I'm going to switch over metronome at 60 and I'm going to switch my audio. And then just flag me down when you want me to shut up.
You might want to try the upbeat first. So go through the process.
Sure,
It's
eighth
gonna
note
help
first.
Yeah, let's do 8 notes first, and then we go to the 16th, and then
Done.
we'll start messing with the 16th note. So
Okay, deal.
that'll be fun.
Woo! Give me a thumbs up here if you can hear that okay.
It's doing like it's kind of pick it up, pick it up, pick it up.
Oh, weird.
Pick it up.
Why is it doing that?
Weird.
That's weird.
Yeah.
Maybe bring the volume down a bit. Oh. That's cool.
It is.
All right, so let's see. Right? Okay. So. Okay. So now on the
Yes.
So. So what's funny is that my brain wants to put a note there, so I kept on putting the bass note there. So let me do it again real quick. And now, if anybody who's watching is not quite sure what we're doing here, say it in the chat. Let us know. We will re-explain it because obviously this is a learning experience for anybody. If there's new drummers in here that are watching, we don't want you to kind of lose track of what we're up to. And Pierre's making a brilliant point by having us work on this because this is a very difficult thing to work on. The metronome is a tool not just to be used on the downbeat. It's a tool to be used in these cool different ways.
Yes.
All right, so let me try that again on the Right? Right? So I would say mission accomplished there, right? Oh, I'm hearing it.
Hold on, I went. That's my bad. That's my bad.
Oh,
I went
that's
on YouTube to hear you to see if it was working, to see if we had any questions. So I need
Trickery.
to stop that.
Well, I got
Yes.
a I got a sound guy here that's helping me out, so he'll let us know.
I was just
Very cool. Very cool.
Oh, really?
Yes.
We got ourselves
All right,
a scrubby rando.
I think we've got this. I think we've got this. So, very good, Carlos. So, the thing where you're at right now is cool. Now, what we need to do is really relax with it.
Okay.
And then the next step after that is to start. You know how a lot of people talk about playing laid back or playing ahead or whatever.
Yes.
And this is where we fail miserably at explaining this. And this exercise is great for this because you've got a point of reference, right? That's floating in the air. So I'll try and show it as best as I can. So I'll be playing and then kind of shifting how laid back or how forward I'm playing, and you'll hear the click
Wow.
moving within that. So
Okay.
there we go.
Oh, wow. That's cool.
So that's all it is, right? It's all about just selecting where your snare drum is going to be landing versus your kick drum. But that's how. So it took me a really long time to figure out how can I practice this appropriately and really get a feedback. Because when you're playing on the metronome, you're imagining that you're playing behind the beat or you're playing behind the metronome. When you hear this, you hear the actual swing of it.
Right.
And that's what's really important about playing laid back or forward is you want to be able to hear that swing between the notes. You want to give that a try?
Oh man, I do. Okay, so yeah, you
It's not
weren't
always
kidding.
successful.
So I'm gonna start on the one, right? Money beat on the one with the click, and then my goal would be the closest frame of reference I have, since I haven't really done it on the E yet, would be the and. So I'm gonna try to shift myself over so that my one lands on the and.
No, so keep it on the last 16th note. And
Start
then lay
on the
back.
last 16th note.
So you're playing the click is going to be on the last 16th, and then so you're playing one, of course, and then you want the 16th note to be moving back and forth, right?
Okay.
Want me to do it again?
Yes.
All right. 3, 4, 1. Got.
Okay. Okay.
You hear that?
Yeah. Yeah. You're never invited to another live stream ever again. Okay. Okay, let's try it.
It's all about control. All about control.
That was it, right?
Yeah. You went a little too far and you landed on the next note, right? So that's the thing about this exercise is trying to not. Oh,
Say it again.
So you went from one 16th note to the other and then came back, that's good. That's good. That's a little bit further than I usually like to go.
Wait, sorry. So let me ask you a question. Sorry to interrupt. So my goal is to continue to go slower and work backwards, not go back and then forward again.
Well, you can do both. You just don't want to land on another beat. So you want to go as close as possible, but not get sucked into the black hole that is this next beat, right?
Okay.
So you want to keep it within. But what you did is essentially right. So you're going from one to the other and then coming back. But you want to stop just a little bit before, so you never actually land on one. You're just playing a super ding.
Okay.
So it becomes shunking.
Yeah.
Boom.
Right. Almost like polyrhythmic, how the notes get closer and closer to each other, land on, and then fall away from each other again.
Yes, but you never actually go to the other beat.
So that's the difference. Is I thought my goal was to get it so that my hi-hat was landing with the click on the and then shifting back.
Which is still like that works. That
Okay.
works, right? So you're using the entire no, but for most people, when we do that, we usually do it by accident. So we want to be careful at first. You want to stay out of that zone. But it's definitely not a bad thing, because if you can get away from it and go back to where you were, then you're good, right? That's just extra points there.
All right, let's try again.
Cool.
I want you to give me a thumbs down too if I'm doing it wrong. I lost it.
Yeah.
I was like on the brink and then I fell over.
But that's a goal. That's a goal. So you're on the right path.
Shit. I lost it again. Wow, I just
That's
get
all right,
sucked
Carlos.
into it.
Yeah. So
Let me
and
switch
that's what
over.
you want to resist, right? So a lot of times you'll see, I guess the guys you see the most doing that is going to be like church drummers, playing these crazy figures and shifting their time like crazy. And you're like, how do they do this? This is how maybe they don't use this path to get there, but this is a good way to get control, to get enough control to do this. So quite a bit of fun. You want to get to go to the next level. So this is just like an introduction, play a simple groove, kind of feel it, and then we turn it into every exercise, basically.
I want to do this a little bit more.
Okay.
Because I don't feel like I quite have it. But can I ask you to do me a favor?
Yes.
I'm a visual learner.
Okay.
So have you ever had to teach this to somebody and create a visual representation of it, like on the whiteboard?
Well,
because if you could do that, I would love to. Again, I'm literally a visual learner. That's the only thing I learned in college. Was they told me that. So I kind of want to look at it.
Where's the whiteboard? How do I get this?
It's on the bottom next to share screen.
Oh, whiteboards. There we go. So what we've got here is, let me do a quick line here. You know the stuff in math, like grade, I don't know what. Are you seeing this?
Yes, I see it.
Okay. So we've got beats. So this here is the and, let's say.
Yeah.
This here is the A, and this here is the 1. So your metronome's gonna land, like, let's say this here is exactly on the beat. What you're doing with this is you're working on playing on either side of this. So this here is the range you're trying to be in. And basically you're choosing where the metronome is going to be landing in this. So when you're playing behind, obviously it's going to be landing somewhere around here, and when you're playing ahead, you're going to be playing around here. Another way to demonstrate this would be to use it the other way. Oh. So what we're doing in this exercise could also look like, sorry guys, I'm bringing you back to high school. So we've got the plus, we've got the A, well, the and, the A, and then the next one, let's say, or the next downbeat. So basically it's about playing the entire range here of time. So this here is time.
So actually, let me ask you to do me a favor quick.
Yep.
In the window, it's a little bit too far to the left. Can you write some of this closer to the right?
Yes.
Thank you.
I guess so.
Middle-ish, right-ish of your screen.
How's this? I'm not seeing where it's landing on your end, that's why.
No, I know. I still only see one line.
Okay. Hold on. Who can see what you share here? No.
Oh, I see that too.
Actually, it might be easier if I do that. No, that's not gonna work. If I write here, do you see it?
Weird. I don't see anything. It's almost like it. Let's Oh, hold on.
Got a drum set. We got some cymbals.
I don't see anything happening on your whiteboard now.
Huh. Hold on, I guess that's
So let me do this. I want to stop the share.
and start it again.
Yeah.
Open to collaborators.
And I'll show you kind of where you think like middle-ish, right-ish. Right there, you see that box there?
No, I see it on the screen. I'm just not seeing it on my end.
Right there.
Okay, hold on. I'm seeing that circle there.
Thank you, sir.
Good. Very good. So, let me erase this here. Eraser. There we go. So, what we're looking at is this here. And this. So this is the high school part. So here's going to be our time. No, this is not the A. So we've got the 1, we've got the A, and we've got the AND. So basically the goal is to play anywhere between this and this. This here is going to be what's called laid back, and this here is going to be playing ahead, and then this part here is when you're playing on the time. So it's just about moving exactly where you're going to be, and then it's going to give you, it's all swing, right? So it's not a direct line. There's some parts to this that are going to be really difficult to actually access, like this zone here.
Yeah.
You're this zone here, you're falling into the 1 already. This zone here, you're falling into the AND. So but you've got all this wiggle room here in the middle between straight, which is going to be here, and then swung ahead and swung behind.
So question for you.
Yes.
So is there a way to do this where you're starting on the downbeat with the metronome?
Not really, because that's a fixed point, right? So the metronome, if you're playing behind the beat, but you're playing with the metronome, it's just your 2 and 4 is going to be slightly off, but for the most part, if you're playing, hold on. So if your goal is to, let me share my audio. Let me get back to my click. Oh, no, this is us chatting, metronome. So let's say I do this on the beat, right? You're not going to hear any swing because the downbeat is fixed. So either if I go 4, 1.
Yeah.
So super straight or swung or...
So
I
to
guess
me,
you can.
Yeah, to me that
Yeah.
feels like the same principle as that here's a fixed point and then you're straying away from it and then coming back to it. If you
Yeah,
go too
I guess that's
far
correct.
and you hit the point before it, then you're lost and then you'd have to well, I guess you could just keep slowing down past the metronome. Like it's almost like it resets. You don't want it to reset. In order to really play, it's like juggling. In order to really get it, you can't let it reset. So you have to get really close to the line and then sort of like speed it back up again and go back. So is it okay? Can I try it on the downbeat with the metronome so that I have a more fixed frame of reference?
Yes, let's do that. So if you're going to do it, oh, I guess you can't hear me.
I'm going to try it again, but I feel like that was a lot closer, right? I actually felt myself shift over so that the metronome was then representing the
Try doing the same thing. Oh,
Sorry, I keep forgetting I have to switch over to my other input. Go ahead.
no worries. Try doing the same thing, but keep the downbeats fixed and do the 8 note moving inside. So it's basically going to go to triplets and then maybe a little bit more to 16ths. That makes sense.
Wow.
So
I've never done anything like this before. This is awesome.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1.
Now there. So now there you're actually creating the swing beat. You're actually swinging your beat so that the metronome click lands in between the swing beat, making it a triplet.
Yes.
Okay. Wish me luck, everybody.
Good luck, Carlos. You've got this.
Right back, right?
Yes,
So
yes, pretty much.
to literally go one after the other and then back.
Yes, I guess you can do that. Another thing you can do to oh, I guess you can't hear me.
Sorry, say it again?
So yeah, so that's cool. Now the next thing you might want to do, because there's no limits to this, right?
Sure.
You can apply this to every exercise you're doing. Rudimentals, anything, it works. But one of the common uses, for example, you know when you hear these old rock and roll records and you're like, how do they make it feel like this, right?
Yeah.
They're like in between straight and swung, or a little more swung, or a little bit. So this is where this exercise kind of really picks up, I think, anyways. I think it's fun. So. So if we play it, let's say, a little bit faster, without the metronome, just... So just a regular rock and roll.
Yes.
So that's how you end up with like playing in between. This is what we're doing, but at a slower tempo. We can of course do it with the metronome. So.
Wow.
You can walk it back from one to the other, and then there's some cracks in between. If you really take your time, you get in the zone, you're going to be able to like get to that next level where you start dividing this little chunk here in 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 different subdivisions. But that's when that's beast level. Like my teacher is the teacher who taught me this exercise. He's there, you know. So he'll play a metric modulation over this, and it's like, oh yeah, this is fun, this is cool. And you're like, how can you do
right?
This
All right,
is just
so
insane.
Real quick, I want to just do no metronome. I want to just like play a little bit of what you did at that more up tempo,
like the rock and roll thing.
Yeah, I want to try that now.
Cool.
So. So that's, I mean, even something like that, like I never really have done anything like that because when I talk to my students, and actually I'd love your thoughts on this. When I'm talking to my students, I try to create a very blatant distinction between straight notes and triplets because so for example, you go and listen to the songs that I played just not long ago. And like Holiday, for example, it's all triplets. Boom, dap da doom, bap da doom, dap da 3 triplet, 4 triplet, right? It's all triplets. So when a student first starts learning, they don't have any clue that music can be blatantly split down the middle between these two like things. And so this is cool because this is like more advanced. You wouldn't teach this to like a newbie, but this is an interesting like blend between the two instead of what I do, which is like straight notation is here, triplet notation is here, and sometimes you hear them come together.
Yes.
Like a rock and roll song with a triplet fill, like an eighth note song with a triplet fill, or like your occasional swing jazzy thing that has a 16th note fill in it, which is always cool when they do that. But it's very, very odd. So this is cool. This is like a blend between them. Do you explain it like that when you talk to your students? Do you go, take this road or take this road?
Yeah, so obviously at first you want to have a very clear distinction between triplets and 8 notes. And then it's mostly when we start doing the syncopation, page 38, which is the page I dream of in my nightmares.
Oh, yeah. Wait, 38 you said.
The first page of syncopation. So depending on which version you have, it's either page 40 or page 38. So exercise 1, I think.
Okay, with the off eighth notes.
So it starts...
But that's swung.
Yeah, sorry, I'm playing it swung, but
sure, right.
So because I have this whole thing about all these syncopation exercises, you can do them in many ways. There's like 100 ways that Alan Dawson did. So
wow. What was that? What was that one?
So that's so you're playing.
Right.
And then you double the notes that aren't accented.
Wow.
So I don't have it here, but that exercise kind of ends up looking like this if you play it with the cymbals. So I did a master class when I lived in Brazil that was all about that, and I lost all the students during the class. Like, okay, so where are we at with this? But it's cool because I was showing them step by step how to get to this, and in this one exercise, like in this one page, you have all the rolls from 3, which is technically not a roll, to like 17. So if you want to practice your rolls. So it really helps with the transitions. And then since you've got all the Alan Dawson stuff to do with the cymbals or the toms, if you want to trade 4s, just pick any line and you've got something interesting to say, right? So that's like, it's a really good way to get into jazz, like trading 4s, trading 8s, stuff like that. It really gives you a lot of vocabulary and helps you get through the first little bit when you're still not necessarily thinking about what your possibilities are.
Right.
These are all the possibilities. Exercise 1 to 8 syncopation. You've got every single possibility you can imagine of different movements, right? So then it's just about combining all the different systems that we apply to them. And then you've got something super interesting with something super, super simple. So
right.
It's all about making it super simple.
Is it okay? Can we pivot, actually? Because I really want to try doing what you were just talking about. So the first step would be, so line 1, page 38, swung. I'm going to do it now. So you're saying one hand does those accents and the other hand adds the empty space in between.
Yeah.
You said double stroke every non-accent. Right?
Well, yeah.
Right?
Yeah. So you're doing well there. The only thing is, so you need to do it fully alternate like this. Right, left, left.
All
right,
single
right,
stroke.
Left, right. Yeah.
Oh. Whoa. That, all single stroke.
Yes.
Okay, so now I want to double stroke every non-accent.
Yes. I've got it written here if you'd like.
Okay.
Back.
All right, let's try it. Question for you. Quick question for you. Sorry. I want to add a note in between the two accents that are next to each other.
Yeah, you don't, because they're 2 triplets, right?
Okay. All right, let's do it. So I have a slight, so I have a question here.
Yeah.
Something in my brain got lost when I was looking at it as eighth notes. I guess the problem is that I'm looking at it as eighth notes even though it's swung. and now I'm looking at it as the 16th note triplet component. So my brain has to lock into where those hi-hat, where those downbeats are. So sorry.
Yes.
All right. So let me just try that again here.
You got it.
Wow, that's fucking dope, dude.
Yeah. And now try and do it reading from the original 8s, right?
Sure. Okay, so I'm gonna go all the way back and I'm gonna walk my steps.
Cool.
Wow, what? Wait. What am I missing all of a sudden? I'm doing this way too fast. I need to slow down. I need to do what I'm constantly telling my students to do all the time.
Yeah.
Whoa! Yes. All right, let's do it again. You know what it is? I'm so glad I'm doing this. My hands aren't ready for that fast double stroke. Let me try it again here.
Okay.
That part. The dot 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 dot.
Oh, so the issue about that, Carlos, is you want it to be, so if you look at the page I've got, so pa ta ka pa pa. You want to be alternating. So the thing, Carlos, is we skip kind of fast to the double strokes, but I'll send you this page here, which is the way to rudimentals or jazz coordination with Ted Reed syncopation. It's something I wrote for a drum clinic, and I'd like to share it with you guys. So it's just the first 8 bars, and this is basically the process. So ba da ba ba da. We'll just play the first bar, and then the second time you interpret it like this. So bar 9. And then the third time, and then you do the same thing, but right. So with the alternating the notes, you really get the idea a little bit clearer. And then so triplets, accents on the floor tom, that really helps with the motion and everything. And then you get to this one. This one here breaks that pattern of always having everything alternated, but then you get back to it, because this one here is kind of cool here too. Right, so you're still the same rhythm. There's nothing new here, and then you have the sextuplet with accents. You can go through the process, but the important part really is here, triplet accents. So back, back, 'Cause if you skip that, then it's going to be really hard to go. So if you want to go blasting fast, you need everything to be just moving straight forward, right? So I find it's a really great exercise, and then it just keeps moving, right? And I think, and yeah, then there's also the. That's what I had on this one. So reading the notes, everything that's written as an 8th note or not a 16th note is going to be played on the kick drum, and vice versa. So you can do the opposite as well.
Okay.
And then here is the interesting part. So this is the rolls analysis, just in that one page. So it's 3-stroke roll, 6-stroke roll, 5-stroke roll, 9-stroke roll, 6-stroke roll, second position, 11-stroke roll, 10-stroke roll, and then the ones that are just black, they're all rolls as well, but they're repetitions.
No, wait a minute. Let me. So this is that whole page.
Yes.
And you're going measure for measure, and you've discovered in that process, when you add the double strokes in between the non-accents, that those double strokes actually create some of the rudiments.
Yes.
And so they're
basically
there.
All the rolls are in that one page. Depending on the perspective, sometimes there's a few different forms. Like 10-stroke roll, I think there's more than one. 8-stroke roll, and then you get to the very end, you get a 13-stroke roll at the end. But I mean, this is pretty cool that in one page you can practice all your rolls flying through, right? Because when you're playing the entire page, your hands are really getting that workout for your rolls.
Right.
Like it's a lot of fun. There's also a book with a lot of this type of exercises. If anybody's interested, it's called Syncopation, but the second version. So there's Syncopation 2, which has a lot of this. A lot of this type of coordination, but it's all written in, so it's not teaching you a system that you apply. Is there anything in this you'd like to try? I think you should really try the. So that one is playing all the accents with your right hand and filling in with the snare. The accents, obviously, you're also playing. Hold on, I've got it written in. This one here, you're also playing the kick with the accent.
So with our 10 minutes, I want to do whichever one there, but
Okay.
I now I wish we had 2 hours. So I want to, when I'm learning stuff like this, I have to go full baby steps. So
That's all right.
Am I doing still that first line?
Yes.
Okay. So you want first I have to get it, accents and double strokes, and then take the accents over to the ride and then play it like that. And then what you were doing is you were adding the bass drum onto the accents, right, to give it that feel.
Yeah. Forget about the double strokes on this one. This one is just triplet. So.
Can we actually let's start with just that first measure.
Okay.
So right?
Yeah, you got it.
And then the second measure.
And then you're going to need to use your right hand to play that extra snare in the middle.
That. Right?
Yeah, you got it. Third bar. Yeah, perfect.
Oh, what do you do there? Okay. Question for you.
Yep.
I'm getting confused because I'm seeing bass notes in there. My brain is zooming into those bass notes because I've been doing syncopation for 25 years. So I just want.
Yeah, you can play with it. But if you do that though, you lose the.
You lose the bass note.
Yeah.
All right, so something I want to do here.
Doable.
Something I want to do here is I want to ignore the double stroke for a second and just find those accents.
Cool.
Because, and I'm so glad we're doing this, I'm usually the one doing the writing, not the reading.
Uh-huh.
And I always write in triplets. I don't write in eighth notes and then tell my student to swing it. I just write it in triplets. So
You save a lot of time writing in 8 notes.
Now you're right, and maybe after this, maybe I'll start doing that a little bit more, or at the very least, like getting students more accustomed to seeing it. But again, remember before I mentioned, like I have this obsession with bifurcating all of music into either straight notation or triplet notation, and so that's an example of me. That's like a blur between the two, and I like to keep them separate. So of course I'm going to write it as triplets because then I can show them, look, this is triplets. Don't go straight. Don't go rock and roll beat on me. Swing it. So I'm behind the curve on this because of that.
And the thing too is it translates to reading. So once you get into the professional world of I guess freelancing, and you're given charts, nothing's written as triplets. Everything is written straight, and it's you just got to know that whatever song is swung, and you're going to read everything. If not, you're just you're going to really suffer on gigs. So like all the standard jazz material, everything that's in the fake books is written exactly like this, with some exceptions, I guess, but. There's always a reason when there is, because there's going to be a distinction between the two and that material. But for the most part, it's all written in straight 8s, and you read it swung.
Okay. All right, so I'm going to play the entire line a few times, memorize the swing feel, even though I'm reading it as 8s. Okay, now remind me again how I'm going to apply it when I put ghost notes in between the accents.
So whenever you have a gap more than 3 notes, you use your right hand.
You bring it down. For me, it would be the left hand, but right.
Yes.
So. I see it now. I see it, dude. This is wild. trouble going from measure 3 to measure 4. It's almost like it just swings the whole time.
Yeah, so because you've got 3 to dom dom.
Play 3, 4 for me.
Yes.
One more time, please. Okay, all right, I'm gonna try it. What am I missing here?
So if you want to see, hold on, let me show you the written version just so you can actually see it. So right here, 43, 44. Yes. There you go. And Carlos, can I show you what the next step of this is? Just so we lose our minds a little bit.
Sorry, give me 2 seconds.
Yep.
Sorry. I'm just gonna keep looping 3 and 4 because that 2 minutes, yeah. 0 minutes. Ah. All right.
I'll just show how the exercise at the beginning and this one can work together, and I'll be on my way out. But
So that's combining the 2 ideas.
yes. So now I've got the metronome is on the last triplet, and I'm also playing this crazy exercise. So when you put the 2 together, then you're in madness zone a little bit. So and you can go a lot slower, you know. So like I could go. Hold on, what's this? The tempo of this? Let's go 50%. And so now I'm at 30 beats per minute. Hold on, let me just share my audio.
Oh!
Hold on. 5. Wow. I'm getting lost here, but anyways,
yeah, but you
the idea is good.
animal. Oh my god.
If you want to get into that zone, it's a little bit easier this one in 16 notes. So.
All right, so sorry, I gotta let you go here because I got Bengo waiting on us here.
Cool.
All right, that was
Enjoy
killer,
the rest of the
dude.
day, Carlos. I'll be checking in. I'm going to a studio session, but
Yes.
I'll be checking in remotely. If you guys have any questions, feel free, and I'll be sharing this this PDF with you. And I don't know how's the best way, but I'd like to get this to the listeners if anybody's interested.
So email it to me, and anybody who's watching this, I will have a link for it in the description of this video after we post it. It'll be on the website. I will make it very easy for people to find this. And I'll tell you what, you and me, we're gonna do this again.
Perfect. Let's do it.
Thank you so much, brother. Have a good one.